Today, need to drill a new well. I'm Daniel Johns, and this is Make, Fix, Build. Well drilling is a bit of a mess. It's also pretty great. Especially if you hit water and you get a lot of good water and it regenerates quickly, there's all sorts of things to take into consideration. You don't know what's underground. And there's no guarantee. There might be boulders, there might be voids, there might be oil or gas. You know, you might think, oh, striking oil or striking gas would be great. Not for me, I want water. Here in East Tennessee, we're right in the Tennessee Valley, carved out by glaciers, and I'm up fairly high, and so you have to go down a couple hundred feet before you even hit rock. The well drillers have different bits depending on the type of soil or rock that you're going through. And when I say bits, even though the ground here isn't level, the truck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wheels off the ground. So the drillers can't guarantee that they're gonna hit water or at what depth. And typically I'm paying per foot of drilling. So the longer we drill, the more money it is. And if we don't get water, it's hard to take showers. My current well was being fed by a couple underground streams, but they were also bringing in a lot of mud. And we put in a liner to reduce the mud, but over time, how quickly water's coming into the well from those streams has gotten slower and slower. That first well was a big risk and ultimately didn't pay off. I gotta take another risk. At the end of the day, am I gonna have a well with good water? I have no idea. Just about anywhere here in East Tennessee, if you drill deep enough, you're gonna hit water. The question is, what else am I gonna hit and what kind of water is it gonna be? And also, I don't wanna mess up my neighbor's wells. What if I hit something that introduces like a contaminant of some sort into the water that they're using? I don't wanna do that.
We're drilling down with our 8-inch bit. We wanna get into bedrock because that's stable. And we're gonna case into the bedrock. Once we get into the bedrock, we're gonna look for a fracture with our 6-inch bit, and that's where your water is gonna be running through, the breaks in the bedrock. Really, it's just about getting the top of the hole contained so you can get your casing down.
So the casing, that keeps some of the like contaminants from the surface out of the well? Is that part of what that does?
Absolutely, yeah. It keeps the surface water out of your hole.
Okay.
And then it makes the hole stable enough to get into bedrock so you can continue on with your drilling.
You're not looking for the surface water.
No.
You're looking for like...
We want the water in the bedrock. Once you hit bedrock's pretty stable, so.
Gotcha. You're actually putting pressure, either water or air down.
Air and water, yeah. And that's conventional drilling. You're pushing air through the pipe.
I see.
It's coming out the annular.
So this is called a wing bit.
Yeah, they call us a wing bit, and you're just basically rotating it and adding air, and that's cleaning my first 20 feet.
So that doesn't go past 20 feet typically?
No, not typically.
Okay.
Because I have a 15-foot starter bit, 15-foot stabilizer, and 8-inch hammer that I start drilling with.
So right now we've gotten to about 250 feet. We're in rock, but they keep hitting seams of mud. And the plan is to put the casing down far enough into the rock to cover up all those seams. We're hoping to hit some solid rock that also has water in it past all of the seams of mud. That's the hope. So far, no luck. The good news is that we haven't hit any sulfur water or gas or oil or anything like that yet. How do you know if you hit gas without exploding?
You know, you can smell it.
You can smell it?
Yeah.
You got a welding helmet out.
Yeah.
Is that, you actually weld each piece of casing together?
Yeah, weld it together.
They've drilled down and they're going to put in 252 feet of casing, and this gets it below the part where we ran into sections of mud before. The casing is in, and now we're drilling through rock for water. I say we, it's them. They're the ones doing the drilling. Now that we're drilling in limestone, the color has changed. So what's coming out of the hole? Still drilling, waiting for water. It is late afternoon here. They are 400 feet down. At this point, we're hoping once we hit the water, it will be nice and clear, no more mud in it. Day 3 of well drilling. We're down about 415 feet right now. So we're at about 425 feet. And drilled down to 605 feet. For a little while there, we thought we had about a half gallon a minute. And at this depth, a half gallon a minute could actually work because having a slow recharge rate is less of an issue when you've got a lot of storage. It'll recharge overnight or whatever, and it's rare that you use hundreds of gallons at a time. But they just measured it, and it is not a half gallon a minute, at least not anymore. So maybe it was just a little pocket of water. Maybe it was some ancient ice cube from a glacier that melted, and we just released it. Or maybe it's just a really slow stream. A lot of time, a lot of effort. Yeah. It's so easy to talk about risks when you've taken some and they've paid off. I hear a lot less about risks that don't pay off. Right now, the plan is for Jerry and Derek to come back on Monday and keep drilling, and hopefully we'll hit some water in the next few feet. It is a foggy Monday morning into the unknown. The start of this weekend was rough because there was so much mud in our current well due to the drilling in the other well that disturbed it, that the water was unusable for a little while. And then once it cleared up, we ran out of water a couple of times. So I just got a call from the well driller. So I guess it rained last night, and so they're not working today. Maybe it's too muddy. I don't know. Sounds like they're not coming today. A little bit frustrating, but don't want to get stuck in the mud, things like that. Another day, another sunrise. We kind of have to choose between like running the dishwasher or laundry or bathing the kids or showering. And I haven't really had to go anywhere, and I haven't needed to be presentable. Do I hear a truck? It could be that you hit water in the next 6 inches, the next foot. And so it's like this constant gamble. Like, how deep do you go? And then once you hit water, do you keep going to get even more? Or do you just take what you have? If we can at least hit a half gallon a minute and have a big reservoir, then I'm gonna call it good and stop drilling. They hit like 50 gallons a minute a few days ago at a different well. Seems like hope and risk often go together. How do we know how much water per minute is coming into the well? It's a specialized secret that only well drillers know. I'm kidding. It's a bucket with a pipe, and you use a timer. I think I hear a truck. Uh-oh, sounds like something stopped. What's going on? Let's see what's happening. Looks like there's a hydraulic leak that they're working on. So that's not great. At some point, my only hope is things go so horribly wrong that it turns into a viral YouTube video that just sets me up for life. Same day, but I decided to take a shower. Taking a shower in this house right now looks like this. Turn on the water, get a little wet, turn off the water. Soap all up. Turn on the water, rinse it all off, turn off the water. Yay, shower. I got everything fixed. We may have just hit some water. We started measuring it. As they were measuring it, it kept getting slower and slower. So we're not quite there. We're down past 700 feet. And so far it's not looking good. And once you get this deep, a lot of expenses start going up. The pipe that attaches to the pump has to change, that's more expensive. The wiring gets more expensive. Sometimes in life, things don't work out. So the well is at 745 feet. That's how we end another day of drilling. There is a trickle. There's a little trickle coming in. If you put your ear up to the rod, you can actually hear it trickling down there. This is kind of neat. If it fills all the way back up overnight, we just need enough water to handle our daily tasks. Success for this well might look a lot different than success for other wells. Some good news is that the water, it looks really good. Looks like it's really good, clear, clean water. Having a little bit of good water is so much better than having a bunch of bad water. I will be so happy to go back to normal life. The way that we're currently measuring it isn't super accurate. The rod going down 700 feet gets really hot, and the water getting blown up past it, it can evaporate. If they feel comfortable with it, they'll pull the rod out, and then you can get a really accurate measurement for how much water is coming in to the well. Looks like another beautiful day for drilling a well. So the next step is to find out how much water came back into the well overnight. Based on what they saw, we gotta keep drilling. There's just not enough water coming in. Today is a little different because one of my kiddos has a half day of school and the other one didn't go to school at all. And so I'm not able to keep quite as close an eye on everything going on at the well. That's okay, because so far it's just drill, 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 and nothing really to report. We're currently at 800 feet. It's hard to tell if we've hit any more water until they stop drilling and blow it out for a while. If you hit a lot of water, it's obvious. It's just a little bit of extra water coming in. It's not as obvious. So the first measurement looked really promising, and then things slowed down a little bit. At first it was really exciting because it looked like it was a gallon a minute, which would be amazing for this well. But then the latest measurement was a half gallon a minute, and that's totally workable. But it has to actually be there. Like, it can't just be all the excess water coming out. There's only 2 rods left before we're gonna stop. As they're drilling, something changed a little bit. They hit maybe a shelf or something, and the water got muddy again, which hitting mud this low would not be a big deal. That'd be okay, because the pump would sit well above it. Hitting mud up high is a problem because the mud can fall in and onto the pump, but low may not be a big deal. So the changing rock might even mean that we're getting close to water. Who knows? Getting lunch ready for one kiddo, waiting on the bus for another kiddo, keeping an eye on the well drillers, and trying to get some lunch in myself. Looks like they've temporarily stopped drilling and they're measuring again. That might be a good sign. False alarm. Putting the last rod on right now. I plan to post this video whether or not we're successful. So we're at the very end of the last rod. The only thing to do at this point is to hope that after they pull all of the rods out, that the well refills at more than a half gallon a minute. So the well is 845 feet deep, and really don't know if there's enough water. Pretty much a full moon out there tonight. Pretty sure the well guys are feeling bad for me, but they left me a gadget, so we might not have much water, but tonight I get to play with sonar. Sonic water level meter, model 200. It will tell us how far down the water is. I can imagine that you might have wanted this story to have a happy ending, and I did too. Sometimes you take risks and they don't pay off. I'm sure you know what that's like, because if you've lived any amount of time on this earth, then you've probably had similar situations where you don't always get what you want and things don't always work out. And I wish everything could be wrapped up in a nice, neat, tidy bow. And we took a measurement before the well guys left, and the water level was at 835 feet. And right now it's at 815 feet. And so it has come up 20 feet in 4 hours. It's easier for me to do math when someone's not watching me. Also when I use a calculator. So it's filled with 30 gallons in 4 hours. Right now, my mom is battling cancer. And it's been going on for quite a few years, but it's gotten really bad in the last couple years. And in the midst of all of that, she is still caring about what's going on here. And I just found out she sent us a whole box of bottled water. So, Mom, thank you for the bottled water. Sometimes we only have bad options. So no matter what choice we make, we're going to choose a bad option. I don't fault people for making bad choices when all they have are bad options. All right, it's been about 12 hours, and I'm going to go check the height of the water one more time. I do like playing with sonar. Jessie's here, but she doesn't want to talk right now. Maybe we'll get some good news. Costs a lot of money to make this big a mess. Actually, we might be in good shape. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, good recovery overnight. Looks like it's making a little more water than we thought.
0.48. You say
0.48.
0.48. 0.48 of a gallon. If it stays like that, that is amazing. I hear a beautiful sound. That's the sound of water trickling into the well. I'm not home right now, and Jessie just called me, and the water coming out of that well is